We're at least a couple of months into Season 11 now, and talks about Season 12 are starting to surface. Rare has stated that they want to release a new season every 3 months or so, but how is the game holding up so far right now? Season 11 brought some major changes to the game in the way that you start your voyages. In a bid to allow people to dive straight into the action, quite literally, we now have the ability to just go to our captain's table, set up a voyage or a raid in whatever faction we're intended to grind, and give ourselves that initial push. When the idea was announced, people were scared that there would be no engagement on the high seas due to this diving mechanic, but that has since been proven to be a bit of a red herring. As it turned out, despite diving from the start to your destination, you would still have to sail all the way back to port and sell. If anything, it seems now that the seas are more populated than before, and most ships now have at least something of value on them should you be up for a bit of old-fashioned piracy.
Hey, I thought we were just taking the loot.
Merchant, can you guys just leave me the fuck alone? Like, I've got 2 pigs on board. Well done.
It was all well and good until you dipped into the Athena Voyages, and realised that their voyages hadn't changed for them, at least not at the time. Nobody was touching Athena because it was a whole lot of grind for barely anything at all, and spamming the Legend of Veils was just monotonous. The patch started off really badly, people were experiencing plenty of disconnects, diving from one server to another, only to be hit by the beard, and achievements were locked out for some reason. If anyone accessed the map table, that just caused the entire server to lag out. That's all fixed now, thankfully, but that was one hell of a teething pain for the patch. They did eventually update Athena Voyages to coincide with everyone else's voyage style, and actually rewarded us with Athena loot. However, during the community weekend, they absolutely smashed the value right into the ground, making it a real lackluster way to want to grind up their ranks to 100. I'm looking at them now, I'm just going, why bother? With the new fandangled updates, it brought you new and creative ways to optimize your loot hauling. People were vault stacking, fort stacking, just about anything stacking really, and steals were off the scale. People have found ways to manipulate the new voyages to guarantee certain loot spawns on certain islands or locations, be it the Chest of Legends, or Vault Keys, or Order of Souls faction related goods, to further optimize their time spent grinding in the game. Just a warning though, if you decide to steal someone's loot who has over 10 Vault Keys in it, cancel any remaining plans you had for that day because you're now there for a while. Hackers, for me, seem to fade off during Season 10. However, they seem to have made their way back into the game in Season 11. Currently in full swing in Hourglass and Open World alike, so just be careful if you're just going to stack up.
Killed the other one.
Season 11 brought a DirectX update, but unless you dipped into the forums, you had no idea why your game was suddenly black screening. As you updated drivers, checked for the integrity of your files, and prayed that you didn't have to do a full reinstall, it turned out all you had to do was downgrade your DirectX back to whatever it was running on before. It caught a lot of people off guard. On a similar page, people who downloaded the game through Xbox Store still seems to be having issues getting the game to work or updating the game. As of recording this, Rare has just released an update saying that Xbox players and anyone from the Microsoft Store might have to reinstall the entire game again.
Ah, that's great.
The King's loot is really cool. Makes you really want to just stop at about every island and every sunken ship in the game for the burst and emissary value, so high praises for that one. For a little while, loot was filled with lead and began to sink almost immediately after touching the water. New cosmetics in the game, which is always cool and gives you something to blow your golden load on. Still nothing for guildies to grind at this stage, they're just in the game, existing. Sharks were having a bit of a feeding frenzy. If you dipped your little toe into the water, it was almost guaranteed it would get chopped off in an instant, and that's more or less it. The game is exactly as you come to expect. A small side note from me now, I'm starting to believe that Reapers could use a harpoon. Before you get your pitchforks out, I'm just looking at the perspective that I've got 30 million right now in the top right corner there. I'm doing Reapers for the emissary value and I'm just doing it in PvP. PvE Reapers is starting to feel like a waste of time. Like, it's just time versus value. It's just not there. Perfect example, imagine you've just been stacking the Fort of the Damned a bit, you've done 5, let's say. That's almost an hour, by 10 minutes around. Not including the loot stacking when you're putting it all into the... After you finally decide to get the loot to your ship, it's another 20 minutes or so just running it off and dropping it off the side. Then 10 minutes to get to Reapers. Another 30 minutes probably afterwards. 10 minutes getting off your boat and then 20 minutes running it off to Daddy's boy. It becomes a 2-hour process by the end of it. And if you're running solo, it's just not very time efficient. And that's not including getting the Skull of Destiny, doing a ship voyage, and then getting a handful of ritual skulls in order to even start the process. Reapers could use a harpoon just to make things a little bit easier for the PvEers. I get it, gold multipliers are the incentive, but we've all got plenty of gold by now, surely. New players will enjoy, almost double the money at first, but then it becomes obsolete after a small while. And if I wanted to intercept a Reaper 5, I would just do it straight away and just rob them blind. Anyway, back to the game. So right now, the state of the game is great for new players, and that was the intention of this patch. This was meant to be the patch that laid down all the remaining fundamentals for the game, and from now on, it's meant to be content, content, content. If there was ever a time to get into the game, now would be it. Welcome to the fold, PS5 players. All the kinks have been more or less buffered out for now, and that is until the next patch. Enjoy your watery playground.
No, is it levitating itself?
If you've been playing for a fair while, not much has changed, really. I get the Seaofthieves partners are enjoying adding a bit of flair to their videos, and that's great. It's pretty samey right now, and has been for a little while. On a personal note, I jumped in when Season 9 was released, and that was a pretty big beginner welcoming patch from what I gather. Harpoons would just drop loot off the ship, which was great, and the new skeleton fort in the Forts of Fortune appeared, but they really have since changed. The Chest of Fortune has changed the location, but other than that, it's still the same game. The Coral Skull Voyage is about as dead as a dodo. I'll admit, I'm struggling to find a reason to log into the game right now, other than to say hello to a few friends, and that's okay. No one game should absorb all of your attention for a month on end. He says with X amount of hours playing. Oh, god damn, I need to get out. Let's hope for some real world changes in Season 12 that starts to mix it up a bit. Hopefully, without the servers crashing. Rare. Anyway, happy plundering.
It is not.
I'm patching the game right now, so supposedly the anti-cheat stuff is being installed in this patch as well. So, fingers crossed we see less hackers out there. Rare has seemingly responded to the Athena complaints and doing something Athena orientated during their 6-year anniversary. Does that take the sting off the reduction of value during the community weekend? And how about you? Was Season 11 not all that bad, or was it just an absolute shipwreck? Leave a comment down below and share in the miseries and the good times alike. Thanks again, and ciao for now.